Today on City Wrestling Radio, Rikishi's kids are set to have their Mania Dream match. Shawn Spears opens up about leaving AEW, and we started watching Dark Side of the Ring Season 5. All that and much more today on City Wrestling Radio. Welcome back to City Wrestling Radio. It is March 20th, 2024. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined, as always, by one half of the world-famous Dudes with Gratitude, Mr. Jose Oseguera.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you today this week?
Doing pretty good. Excited. Yeah, getting excited, getting revved up for Mania. It's looking good. Yeah, there's a lot of movement going on, right?
Well, there's things. I feel like we're at this point. It's like we're 3 weeks away. It's like we have to hold steady for like another week, and then it's gonna hit full steam. Because like right now, there's some things that are looking a little weird, you know, like the tag team, the tag title situation, and but it seems to all be getting to the point where we thought it would be getting to. So that's cool. You know, we got that. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. So let's just get right into it. One thing I didn't write down. I didn't put on here, but I just want to talk to you about it real quick. Mark Coleman.
Right, let's go.
Did you hear about this? Mark Coleman, the MMA fighter?
A little bit, yeah. Refresh the audience.
So basically what happened is Mark Coleman was staying at his parents' house with his dog Hammer.
Yeah.
And he you know, his dog started barking in the middle of the night, and well, he was barking because there was a fire in the house. Coleman was able to get both his parents out of the house, but when he went back in the to the house to grab Hammer, his dog, unfortunately he was not able to. You know, Coleman suffered some smoke inhalation, was treated at the hospital, was released, then had to go back to the hospital because he felt pretty weak, but now he's been released again and he's back in the gym. So unfortunately his dog Hammer did not make it. So it's just one of those great stories I wanted.
Yeah. You know? Hero of the story doesn't make it. Sacrifices his life for his human companions. Good job there, Hammer.
Yeah. But you know, so good on him. I'm glad I think they've already raised a lot of money through GoFundMe, so that's pretty good. So hey, starting the week off good, right?
Stories that we need, yes.
But let's get right into it. Monday Night Raw kicked off this week with Jey Uso promo coming out to the ring. He basically came out calling Jimmy out for kind of leaving him high and dry, quote unquote. That's what's prompted Jimmy and Solo to come down to the ring. And well, Jimmy kind of laid it into his brother Jay, asking, you know, saying,
"You left the bloodline.
Yeah, you're the one that left the bloodline. I didn't leave you high and dry. You're the one that left me high and dry. You're the one that won a tag team title without me." And he's kind of right, you know, like I know it's a difficult situation because you got Roman involved, and you know there was some toxic family environment, you know, that nobody should be a part of.
You think, yeah.
But you know, Jimmy's quite right. Like there was a situation where he's like, I came back to the bloodline to help you out, and then Jay left after everything, and it just, to me, it feels like, you know, like I don't know what direction they're going to go with Jimmy and Jay after WrestleMania. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking that it all relies on what Roman has in store for himself. If he makes it out with the title, do we steer away from Cody? Do we deal more with internal issues if he does lose the title? Does he pass the buck? Does he pass the blame to somebody else? So, you know, there's a lot of avenues you can take after the result of Mania.
Yeah, and you know, I honestly think they're priming both of these guys to, you know, become a tag team again, because like, listen to their theme songs. They're pretty much, they took the main Uso theme song and split it into two songs. If you really listen to it,
Yeah.
because there's parts of the old Uso song that was it seemed like both of them going back and forth, kind of like talking like, yeah, yeah, get him, Oos. Okay, yeah. And they took certain parts and put it in Jay's and took the other parts and put it into Jimmy's. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
they just
Totally.
split. Yeah. Instead of like, when Bubba Ray and Devon broke up, become Reverend Devon. And while Bubba Ray was always Bubba Ray, um,
Mhm.
yeah, it seems like these two are going to be getting back together eventually one day.
Yeah, totally. Eventually, one day. Not today and not next month, but eventually, yeah.
No, no,
And they share that yeet no yeet thing, so that'll be fun to see.
yeah.
The
Uh,
crowd reaction for that match is gonna be great.
yeah. So that's when Jimmy Uso said, he said, your biggest moment will always be because of me. And Jay, continued to say, my greatest moment will be at WrestleMania wrestling you, and proceeded to go after Jimmy and Solo Sikoa. That's when he was beaten down by both men, and Cody Rhodes came out for the save. So,
Hmm.
they're definitely putting Jay on the Cody Rhodes side of things,
Yeah,
and kind of putting him in his corner for Mania when they eventually have that giant brawl in the main event, to whatever day that is.
date night too. Yeah.
Next up, Adam Pearce backstage with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman says he has some business to attend to tonight, and while Jimmy and Solo Sikoa are a part of the Bloodline, they were not representing the Bloodline in that opening segment, and went into business for themselves, quote unquote. Not the same business that Paul Heyman was there for. So he says, sure, Adam Pearce said nothing else like that would happen for the rest of the night. And kind of giving that false
Mhm.
sense of security, that Roman has complete control and Roman is a man of his word. Because he
Mhm.
mentioned something
And
like,
and
"Oh,
kinda
Roman, you keep Roman's word on this."
right, and kinda weird that the theme throughout the night has been, breaking kayfabe, especially when it came to some of the verbiage that they use,
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
scenes.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
that was a theme, that was definitely a theme. Not very Vince McMahon. Cool.
No, no. Next up, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa DIY defeated the Creed brothers to qualify for the WrestleMania six-pack ladder match, which I think is funny how the teams on Raw have just like one match to qualify, and then on SmackDown there's like a whole tournament to
Mhm.
qualify for the match. So I
Yeah,
don't know. Sign with Raw next time is the best advice I can give anyone.
yeah.
This match was good with the Creed brothers sporting new gear. It's kind of weird. It was like very like I don't know, like Roman Olympic font and
Oh,
logo they
yeah.
had.
Mhm. They were
It's a little
wearing,
different
like,
than the old.
a boring gray too, right?
Yeah, before they had that cool varsity look, and now it's kind of like their old Greco-Roman wrestlers.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
sure.
Uh, D- DIY continues to be one of the best tag teams in WWE with probably one of the weakest themes. It's the weirdest thing. I hate some of this music some of this
Yeah.
time. It's
Mhm.
so bad.
It comes off very NXT. Ugh.
Yeah, well, they gotta get what's his name back? The Was it CFO dollar sign? They gotta work with that guy again.
Mhm.
He's the guy who wrote
Yeah.
all the good NXT songs. The
Okay.
finish of this match saw the Creed brothers set up for the Brutus bomb, but Ciampa slipped out, applied a cradle. Brutus broke that up, so Gargano chucked him from the ring. Julius had a cradle applied, but Gargano super kicked him, and Ciampa reversed into a cradle for the pinfall victory. And this is now DIY's first time going to Mania, so good on them, right?
Yeah, dude, I think, the odds are in their favor in my book. I'm really liking what they're doing right now, and if we wanna change the tag team title picture, maybe even split the titles, DIY is a good bet.
Oh, split the titles. I don't know.
You don't wanna
I
split the
guess,
titles?
but not right now. It doesn't seem like it right now. I don't think there's like an abundance of tag teams where I'm like, oh, there's so many tag teams that we need more titles. Like, I
That's a
honestly
good
think
point.
just screw it and unify them. Just make one set, like just two belts. That's all we need. They don't need to be the
I'd be in
unified
for that too.
anymore. Just bring
Yeah.
back the 90s. Like, remember the ones that Earthquake and Typhoon War at SummerSlam
Yes.
91? Yeah.
Yes.
Bring those back. The rectangle titles. I love
Mhm.
them. Those are my favorite. Like, Those, and I think I like the Intercontinental, the early '90s one. I weirdly
I
like
really
the
like the heart,
Oval IC.
the oval
Which one?
IC. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the Heart Foundation tag titles.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are the ones that had like the multicolored one, right? It was like two different colors, like
Oh,
silver and
I
gold.
know there were cuts. Oh, yeah, 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 and it was rectangular too, like you were talking about the earthquake and typhoon.
Yeah. Next up, Andrade backstage with the Judgment Day. He's basically still doing that thing with Dom, kind of hinting at them working together somehow, some way. That's when Andrade crosses paths with Damian Priest yet again. That's going to be one
Senor
hell of a
Dinero.
match.
It is. Do you think it's gonna be for leadership of Judgment Day?
No, no, I don't think it's going to be for because is Priest the leader? Like we never kind of got to the bottom of that. Like there was that tension where they
Yeah,
were like, "Who's the
we
leader of
didn't.
Judgment Day?"
Yeah,
Like, we all know that
yeah,
Rhea
yeah. Well,
Ripley's the real leader of Judgment Day.
yeah, we all know that. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, it's going to be a great match whenever they have it. Definitely going to be after Mania. I'm assuming it's going to be
Mhm.
after Judgment Day splits up, though.
Yeah, we're seed planning right now.
Yeah,
Post Mania
seed
seed planning.
seed planning for Dominic to have something to do after Mania, in my opinion.
Hopefully he starts winning soon. I'm tired of these losses, man.
Well, we'll see. Dom's been treated pretty well. We'll get into it later because he had to mention
Yeah.
it and want to talk about it.
Mhm.
Next up, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell defeated Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Um, Candice falls deeper into her heel turn without anything kind of seemingly happening to trigger this. Like I don't know why she's being so like lack of a better term, so fucking rude to everybody, Like
Yeah, it's
like
an attitude change because she's a little bit of a loser. She's tired of losing. There's something has to change. Maybe it's our attitudes.
yeah,
That's the vibe I'm getting.
that's fine and all, but like I want to see more of like backstage segments. Like I want to see her kind of like mention
Substance.
something like I'm tired of yes, like say that in the back, like I'm tired of losing. Like this is getting to be ridiculous. I'm gonna do whatever it takes from here on out. I don't
Okay,
know.
so we're not gonna get a tag team split yet. We're gonna do post Mania, Candice and Indy split after that.
I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean,
Or or Indy can just turn with her and they both go full heel.
sure. I mean, but what do they got though? Like turning heel is one thing, but like what do they got? They can't just be heels and then just be exciting all of a sudden,
Oh, that's
you
yeah, that's
know?
not gonna happen. And your tag team champions are heels, so you can't chase after that.
And I think Oscar's like hurt. So like I don't know even know what's up with Oscar now.
Mhm, mhm.
Let's see. Oh, so basically this match, there was a point where Katana Chance was working in a leg injury. The refs kind of hold Indy Hartwell back. That's when uh Candice tags herself in, hits a baseball slide on Kaden Carter, who was outside of the ring, and then puts the half crab on Katana Chance for the submission victory. So there you go. This is when they announced a Bray Wyatt documentary coming to Peacock. It's going to be Bo
Excited?
Dallas. JoJo is going to be on it. Bo Dallas, John Cena, Alexa Bliss, Seth Rollins, among those to be interviewed. So, I mean, and I thought it was really cool that when they were playing the video package for it, it cut to the crowd, and the entire crowd had their phones up for the Fireflies,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, that was really
it was
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I don't know every day goes on. It's like it's crazy to think that Bray Wyatt passed away. I know
Yeah,
it's
in a
you
blink,
know
and it was a blink. Yeah.
like just it was just so crazy. Like he's just gone one day, and it's just like holy shit.
Mhm, mhm.
If you want something in life, just go do it because man, might not be there one day.
Yeah, yeah.
Or tell somebody, tell somebody you love them, all that stuff. Next up, one guy I'll tell I love, Cody Rhodes, because
Oh,
I
I thought you
love
were gonna say
the guy.
me, but alright.
I mean, you're pretty cool too, Jose. I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie.
thanks.
You're the
Thank you.
dad we wish we all had. And, so, but yeah, Cody Rhodes, he came out to the ring. He called out The Rock's promo on SmackDown. So The Rock's promo on SmackDown, where he, where he says, you're crying, Cody, and talking about your mama. He goes, there's one thing about Cody's mama. I'm going to give her a belt, and it's this belt. He pulls out like a leather weight belt. He goes, I'm going to whip Cody with this, and I'm going to give you this belt. And afterwards, I'm going to say, what can I say except you're welcome? From the Moana movie.
Yeah.
And I know you've seen it because you have kids. But that
Yeah,
damn
for
song,
sure, a million times.
that song has been stuck in my head since Friday night.
Since it started. Yeah.
I'm just I'm tired
Earworms.
of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But Cody, my girlfriend heard me. She said, "You're welcome." That's funny. What do you call it? Cody, snaps back at The Rock, saying that at Mania he better bring big Dwayne energy, and what does he say? Like, not, was it little dick syndrome or something?
LDS, little dick syndrome.
This is what prompted Paul Heyman to come out to the ring. With a
what a
request
mood killer.
And it was weird. Yeah, because he was really going on this, Cody, on this promo. And Paul Heyman comes out and asks him to come to SmackDown on behalf. He's asking on behalf of the Tribal Chief, and also asks him to not bring any backup. Which, like, I don't know. It's just to me, it's like, so which person's going to be the dumb one here? Is Cody going to be the dumb one to go in there with no backup at all and get jumped by the Bloodline, or are the Bloodline going to be dumb and then they're going to be like circled by 20 wrestlers?
Yeah, no, my official guess, The Rock isn't Bloodline per se. I know they like to portray like he might be, but I don't think he's officially Bloodline. He is in the family, but is he Bloodline?
Well, one thing he
might be the exception. Go ahead.
One thing I heard, and one thing that kind of I've heard mentioned was Tama Tonga, who is kind of technically part of the Bloodline, just because it's like another oath they took years. I don't fucking know this Bloodline lineage. It's too confusing.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm actually part of the Bloodline and I don't even know it. Like, because Jacob Fatu called me Oos one time, so I think I'm technically part of the Bloodline.
I think that counts.
Anyways, and I ate a taco next to Jimmy Uso one time, so while talking to Jacob Fatu. So, hey,
connections are there. You're closer than Sami Zayn was.
That bloodline is getting thicker. Exactly. See, you got the Usos. I don't know where Solo was born. Probably not the Bay Area. Probably like Florida. Seems like Florida guy.
Yeah.
The Rock was from Fremont. Was Roman born? No, Roman was born in Pensacola. Rikishi lived here because obviously his sons were born here.
The boys,
and I'm from San Francisco, so there you go. Yeah. Bloodline, and we're all Niners fans. Let's I'm gonna hit up the Wise Man. I want my tickets to the Skybox next time for Niners game next season. I'm just saying.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Hang out with Jimmy J, Naomi. Whoever else is part of the Bloodline. That would be.
You gotta call it Trinity.
Trin. What up, Trin? She'd be like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
Corey, Jacob Fatu called me Oos once. It's all good. Next up, we had Ricochet defeating Dominic Mysterio, and this is pretty. I don't know. To me, this is pretty weird because Ricochet is kind of coming out of nowhere and doing this whole Bloodline situation where he's trying to go through every member of the Bloodline.
Bloodline? You mean Judgment Day?
Sorry, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And it just seems weird. And then now Dominic Mysterio, who is like the former North American champion, just lost to Ricochet, who has not really been on TV that much lately.
Yeah, he beat McDonough just the other day.
Yeah, no, so it was weird because Dominic tried to use the distraction by McDonough to hit a 619, but Ricochet ducked it, hit a recoil for the pinfall victory. McDonough tried to attack Ricochet after the match, but Mr. O'Shea escaped. Yeah, man. What are they doing with Ricochet here? Like, what are they doing? Some
What
sort
they're
of
doing
ladder
is
match, or
they're totally crowbarring him into this. Maybe we'll see a rematch with Dominic Mysterio on the pre-show at Mania. I don't know.
we'll see. We're starting to really fill out that Mania card. And if they start adding more matches, I mean, I'd be down to have more than 5 matches on each night of Mania, because I'm sorry, the last few pay-per-views or PLEs with 4 matches a show, that's getting to be a
3
little
hours
4.
long.
Yeah, 4 matches a
4
show when
hours.
they're like 3 to 4 hours long, and like
Yeah.
50% of the show is advertisements.
Yeah,
I
I
get it.
like
They're
some
trying to make more money.
variety. Yeah, they
No,
gotta pay
definitely.
Peacock somehow.
Like, there's that good in between of those and an AEW pay-per-view, where it's just match, match,
Mhm.
match, 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 just right
Yeah,
in between. Got to find that Goldilocks.
there's a sweet spot. Yes, there is.
Uh,
Just
then then Chad Gable and Sami Zayn are backstage. Sami Zayn approached Chad in the back. Zayn called last week's match an honor. He hasn't pushed like that. He hasn't been pushed like that to a limit in a long time. A weird comment considering he lost to Shinsuke Nakamura and Drew McIntyre recently. And it could have gone either way. Gable dismissively told him, yeah, it was great. Zayn knew something was up, and that's when he goes, what's wrong? What's wrong? He's like, it just means different this time. It just means different to me. And then he says, you can't beat Gunther. That's what this problem is. And then he storms away.
Mhm.
So it seems like they're doing something with Gable in the IC picture, because then right after
Yeah.
this,
Mhm.
oh yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, could continue,
Oh yeah,
please.
yeah. Because after this, there was the IC title contract signing where Gunther's out there in a suit, Sami Zayn's out there dressed like me, like a bum, and
That was a little weird.
it just, to me, it seems like Gunther saying, "Yeah, listen to Gable, you can't beat me." Sami Zayn cut a fiery promo saying, like, "I've always been the underdog," and okay, here's what I think is going to happen. And this is going to based off the next segment coming. I'm just going to skip to that next segment. When he goes to the
Okay.
back and wanted to ask Gable why, he goes, "Why do you think I can't beat, you know, Gunther?" And he basically says, like, you've always been the underground, you've always been the underdog. But with this, it's mental. With Gunther, he doesn't give you an opportunity to get that upper hand. You cannot beat him without changing your mindset. So
Mhm.
what
You
I think
always find a way. He's not gonna leave an opening for you.
what I think is going to happen is, how a lot of people, okay, this is kind of mirrors real life. You know how the people in life, they really want to do something, but they just can't get to that level. You know what I mean? Like, let's say a soccer player who never made it to the major leagues, but was
Mhm.
really, but is a great teacher, like does his own, like teaches kids how to play soccer. You know what I mean? Those
Mhm.
who can't
Mhm.
do teach. And I wonder for Gable, will this be like he's going to train Sami Zayn to have more of this fearless mentality and this more viciousness to him, more
A
of
killer
a
instinct, yeah.
killer instinct. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Like Coach Gable behind Sami Zayn.
It would be because you noticed that he started wearing suits, as soon as all this started happening. He was
Who-
Mr., always in Alpha Academy gear. All
Yeah.
of a sudden, you're seeing this guy in suits, like he's
Yeah.
dressing up. So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, it
Yep.
looks
Yep.
like they're headed that way.
So, and I wouldn't mind, maybe not Sami Zayn being a part of Alpha Academy per se, but some sort of like he'll have segments with them, and he could do some stuff,
He
wrestling
knows
with
how to do
Maxine.
comedy. He knows how to get serious,
Exactly.
yeah. Mhm,
He could talk about Maxine, the worm she did last week, the
mhm.
backwards
There was a
worms she did.
segment there was that was actually pretty good. There was a segment this week too, I saw it, I wanna say it was like a TikTok segment or something, where they're teaching Maxine how to do what is it? Skinny cat, skinny cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing where they go over the top rope and then come back
Yeah.
when they hold
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she was doing that with them. They're pretty funny.
She's incredible, man. Did I tell you that she's from Sacramento?
Yes, last week we spoke about
Yeah. Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
learning really fast, I have to give it to her.
Yeah, definitely. She's doing a great job. And it's one of those things that's like when you give these women a chance to actually learn and actually grow as performers and not just, let's face it, in the Vince McMahon era of women relying on their sex appeal to get
So
by in
I
WWE.
can do. Yeah.
Yeah, they really can surprise you. And like Maxine wasn't somebody we saw a couple of years ago, a couple months ago to say, like, oh, yeah, she's going to do anything in the ring wrestling wise, but she's really going in there and giving it her all, kind of
Yeah.
something that Mandy Rose did for a long time in WWE until she
Mhm.
fell back on her sex appeal. And but
Mm.
get it, girl, get that money. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not hating. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if you're gonna be a wrestler, that's great. Maxine's doing the great thing. And if you want to be an OnlyFans person, hey, Mandy Rose is doing it great too.
More power to you. Yeah, she's doing great actually. Right here
Honestly, if I can do it,
financially.
yeah, if I can do OnlyFans and just stay at home all day and just go to the gym and come home and just be like, hey guys, what's up? Like, you want me to like cook naked or what do they do?
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Here's
they
my
just,
oatmeal.
yeah, like just eat oatmeal naked and be like, oops, I dropped some. I'm like, I don't know. Anyways, that's a free
Meal
preview,
planning.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Free preview. If you want to sign up, get City Wrestling Radio to 1,000 likes and I'll do an OnlyFans.
We'll get the ball
Or no,
rolling.
not likes, subscribers. We need 1,000 subscribers first, and then
There you
I will
go.
start OnlyFans.
Yes. 2,000, I'll
Next,
join. Let's go.
just separately. It's going to be split screen, just like this.
Yeah.
R-Truth and The Miz next defeated Indus Share with Jinder Mahal to qualify for the WrestleMania 6-pack. Well, Truth and Miz winning is no surprise. Indus Share is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the Dominic Mysterio losing so quickly. Like they kind of had high hopes for a while, and now they're just falling to the wayside, And this is a sign of Triple H's WWE. They're not Triple H's guys; they're Vince guys. I hate to put that label on them, but they were people who were approved by Vince McMahon. So
totally, 100%.
Yeah. The end of this match saw Songa shoving Miz into the ropes. Miz dropped Mahal with a drop kick. Truth tried going after Songa, but Songa elbowed him. Truth fell backwards onto Veer, who was already down from a combo finisher, and hit the accidental pinfall for the victory.
Oops.
So it's just, okay, we've been talking about this for weeks, and R-Truth and The Miz were hot 2.5 weeks ago, but I feel like this is like baseball now. Like they're cooling off, man. And this is not the good time to be cooling off. This is right before playoffs. This is right before the World Series. You don't want to be cooling off right here. Like, do you think Miz and Truth can still win these titles?
I think DIY surpassed them, man. I mean, R-Truth is going to be who he is. Miz is going to be who he is.
Yeah.
I just don't. I can't wrap my head around giving them titles now, just because you have something as hot as DIY on the back burner, because you have a weak tag division. You're going to put these two together. It's very Vince again, where he just puts two names together and you're a tag team.
Well, they were a team before, the Awesome Truth, or
sure.
And
but, they separated.
But okay, 3 or 4 weeks ago, would you have put the titles on them? I definitely would have. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
They were over like Rover. They were super hot. Miz doing those video segments, about joining the Judgment Day. But have they even had any interaction with the Judgment Day in the last 2 weeks? No. So what is going on with them? Like, why do I support Truth now? It's not fun for me to watch R-Truth and The Miz just start winning. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I want to see them have comedy segments with the Judgment Day. And
but
a title match is fine, but whatever.
Yeah, and Judgment Day isn't really doing anything with anyone right now. They're just standing to the side waiting for this tournament to finish.
Finn Balor's just hanging out in a cool purple tiger jumpsuit, like tracksuit. And I want to know where he bought that.
Cool. Yeah, I want.
Also, okay, I got to give it to them. I really like how they're letting these guys dress how they want backstage. Because if you notice, you got Finn Balor walking around in a bucket hat and a fucking tiger purple tracksuit looking like a dark version of Jamiroquai. And then you have Rhea Ripley, Okay, so I've seen these shirts promoted online. I don't know what
Mhm.
company it's called, but they're like these shirts that you can get made that look like 1990s hip hop album covers, but you get like your girlfriend or your wife or your significant others, like put their pictures
Yes.
on it with their name at the
Yes.
top. She got
Mhm.
one made for Dominic Mysterio, and it says
Love
Dirty
it.
Dom on the top, and it has the picture of him holding the koala from
Mhm.
Australia.
Yeah.
It was just fabulous. And WWE
Yeah.
needs to sell that shirt immediately because I want that shirt right now. Like right
Yeah.
now.
Mass produce it now.
Because if they don't, that's really they put every shirt. They have a shirt that says freaking like what's it called? Freaking Nightmare, the Seth Rollins
Mhm.
Cody Rhodes shirt, which is
Yeah.
god awful. Whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Next up we have Zayn and Gable. We talked about that. Then we have
Mhm.
Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre doing an in-ring segment. This is all based on McIntyre calling Seth a spotlight junkie. And what what was this? Because like I honestly felt like this was just to fill time for the night, you know. These guys go out there and goes, I am a spotlight junkie, yeah.
So
So
are
are
so are
you.
you.
Yeah, and it was just
Mm.
like, okay. And like it didn't really go anywhere. And it just how did it enhance the story of Drew and Seth?
It didn't to me. I was starting to fall asleep during this. My
Yeah.
eyes were getting heavy. I couldn't. I couldn't.
No, absolutely. And to me, this story has kind of fallen to the wayside as just like a lot of other things going into Mania. So
Mhm.
I mean, I
Mhm.
don't know if they don't do something quick with that and kind of put a little bit more attention to that rather than just, oh, you're focusing too much on the bloodline, Seth. You're gonna get taken out.
Yeah. I
And
mean, can you imagine if CM Punk was still here? They'd be focused on that and then focus on it. It's insane.
now here's the thing. Guess who's
Mhm.
coming back next week?
CM Punk.
CM Punk returns to Monday Night Raw in Chicago, Illinois next
Mhm.
week. He isn't cleared. He isn't.
No. No,
But
but they're in Chicago. How can he not?
he says he says he's going to make Mania somehow, some way.
He's
So
gonna be the ref for this match.
he's gonna screw Drew somehow. I
He's gonna
honestly,
ref this match.
or he could ref the match and it just be a clean 3 count for Drew. Like he's
Mhm.
like looks at Drew while counting it and then like I don't know, gives him a chair shot to the back. I don't know
Yeah.
afterwards, but I don't know. It just seems to me Rollins and Drew, they need a little injection of some of a fun injection of they need a fun
Yeah.
injection.
He's not even coming off as secondary. He's coming off as 3rd or 4th tier. Is
No.
very mid card for a main event title.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of feeling like the US title, the Intercontinental title feels
It's
more
more
important
important
right
than
now.
this. Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely. This whole world championship has felt second rate to the Universal title, the Intercontinental title. Hell, even Logan Paul defending his US title against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a very good point. Well, Rock did say he was gonna make that title disappear. Hmm.
so we'll see. Like I said, next week on Raw, CM Punk appears, and then we have Ricochet versus JD McDonough. And the final match for Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch defeated Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. This match was
Surprisingly
fine.
good.
Uh,
I thought it was
yeah,
surprisingly good.
yeah, here's the thing. Nia, I felt like she was working so safe, so
Yeah,
incredibly
well, I
safe.
mean, thank God for that.
She does not want to hurt Becky 3 weeks before Mania. She's like,
Mhm.
look, I took you out before Survivor Series one time. I felt the brunt of that, that
Oh,
heat.
yeah.
I don't want to
Uh-huh.
get Mania. I'm just gonna kind of lay down. Just pin me. Please pin me, Becky. No.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. Jack set up at the end of the match. Jack set up for a Samoan drop off the apron, but Lynch fought out and hit a manhandle slam off the apron through a table, which looked pretty good. The crowd popped big for that. Jax got up at 9 count. This was followed by another spectacular spot. Jax was dazed by a previous spot and leaned over onto the announce table. Lynch was standing near the top of the ladder and hit the diving leg drop through the table. The ref got the 10 count, and Lynch got the win. So she's
Dude,
going into
that leg drop looked like Nia ate some table on that. She really kissed some wood.
and it's crazy to think, Becky Lynch has been wrestling for like 20 plus years,
Mm.
But after the match, Rhea Ripley came out and had a face-to-face with Becky Lynch, who maybe wanted to come out and congratulate her on her new U.S. citizenship.
Oh, yeah,
Because
totally.
Becky Lynch just became a U.S. citizen.
Congratulations.
You know what's weird? Becky becoming a U.S. citizen days after leaving the White House. I think there's some Irish shenanigans going on right there.
Maybe.
Do you see Becky put her book in the presidential library too?
No, I didn't see that.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure she was
cool.
like, "Hey," she's probably like, "Here, I left this as a gift for you, President Biden." And they were like, "Oh yeah, put that over there."
Photo op.
Biden didn't have his shot of adrenaline that day. So, in his soul, everything was in control for him. Yeah, so that was Monday Night Raw. I mean, we have 2 weeks of Monday Night Raw left before Mania. So
yeah, and we get a Rock appearance at one of those too.
I think it's next week. Is it next week or the week after?
The week after, go home show.
Okay. So, I mean, hell, we'll see what happens. We're going to be covering, the buildup. We'll even, have some Mania shows coming up, maybe some retro shows. So keep an eye out for that. But before we get out of here, we got some more notes we want to talk about. We got some news. We got some news we're going to talk today. Shawn Spears, formerly Ty Dillinger, spoke with Fightful Select on his his leaving. Bad word choice. Him leaving AEW. He says it was just like when he left WWE in 2019. It was pretty amicable. Spears said having things like that will prevent things from getting nasty. He goes, they don't need that, and I don't need that. The 20 plus year veteran told Fightful that his reason for leaving AEW was because he believed it was best for him and his family. Shawn told Sean Ross Sapp that returning to WWE was important for him. Spears said once the opportunity came to him to go to NXT, he jumped all over it. Spears explained his reasoning for being in NXT. He said people who watch the interview will say, why wouldn't you want to go to Raw? Why wouldn't you want to go to SmackDown? Shawn added, NXT is just killing it. Spears said he's been back for a few weeks, and once the talent there blew him away, he says, I love everything about it here. And it takes me back to when I started training for FCW like 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
But to me, it's weird, because it's like, he's like, yeah, I just want to go back here where it blew everyone away. But wasn't the whole thing about Ty Dillinger, how he couldn't get off of NXT? That was his purgatory. Spears says the Perfect 10 gimmick was a fond memory, and he spoke about debuting at number 10 during the 2017 Men's Royal Rumble match, which I was at. And he said that the clock was counting down. He was in Gorilla with his friends, and they began clapping for him. He says it gets emotional every time thinking about it because it was validation for, from his peers that night. And I mean, Shawn Spears is back in NXT. What do you think his ceiling is in WWE, Jose?
Okay, is he referred to Shawn Spears or is he back to Ty?
He is Shawn Spears in NXT.
Okay, well, I think this guy's going to be relegated to coaching. He's going to be one of those on the field coaches, a very experienced veteran who's going to teach these guys along the way. I just hope, and fingers crossed, that this cracks the door just a tiny sliver for the Iconics return.
Iconics.
Now, Cassie, that's her name, right? Cassie Lee. I hear she's currently pregnant again, so it's going to be later than sooner. So
that's Shawn. That was Cassie? That's not Billy Kay. Who is Billy Kay? And
Oh,
Cassie Lee was the other one, right?
I would have to. Yeah.
I remember I remember one of their gimmick names, but not, and I can't remember the other one's real name.
Dude, same here. I could Jessica McKay.
Okay, there we go.
Shot
Yeah,
in the
no, I
dark.
mean, I hope it does open the door for them to return because they are. I mean, they're very entertaining. Remember them coming out, on SmackDown doing their shtick, down to the ring, making fun of everyone. It was just great, and I loved it, and I miss it
Yeah.
every day. But if that's what's better for them, because honestly, some people are going to leave wrestling and find things that are better for them,
Yeah.
outside. Like
Totally.
I believe Emma and Riddick Moss. They, they're a couple, right? And I believe they just got married in Hawaii. And they, after they left the company, I guess Emma started like a travel, like a travel agency thing,
Huh.
and she does travel packages for all around the world, like adventure packages.
Whoa.
And
Okay.
they travel everywhere, and like it seems like they're just kicking ass. You know what I mean? Like
That
that's
sounds
so
great.
awesome. Having a life outside of WWE is something that I think a lot of people need to. A lot of people, oh, I guess any career, right? Like you'd want to have
Yeah.
some sort of backup plan, but having a life after wrestling is really going to be important for a lot of these people,
Oh
in the
yeah.
WWE. So,
Yeah. No, you
eh,
know what? You know what's genius is who better to book your flights than someone who has extensive experience flying all over the world.
yeah, somebody who is like flown like 90, whatever out of the year, 90% of
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year. So I think it's
Totally.
great for them. Hopefully, if Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay want to come
Mhm.
back, that's great. I would love to see them back taking on, even Candice and Indy, or Asuka and Kyrie. So
If any of those are still teams when they show
yeah.
up.
Yeah. And our last bit of not really news we want to get into today, but our last bit of business today is well, we just started watching. Well, you watched, I think, a couple weeks ago, but I just watched the
Mhm.
Dark Side of the Ring John Tenta episode today.
Yeah, what a lot of great revelations about this guy. Really nice from what we hear, really
Oh
cool,
my god!
salt of the earth type of guy. Um, didn't like doing much, just sticking in a hotel and hanging out and playing games and eating a whole bunch of room service with
Well, hold on.
Typhoon.
You mentioned salt of the earth. Did you hear that being
Yes.
said on Monday Night Raw this week about
No,
Rock's
what?
mom? Yeah, Cody said Rock's
Oh,
mom, salt of the earth,
that's right. You know what?
and
This stuff,
the other time we've
it
ever heard it. MJF. I'm just
mhm.
saying, man. I'm just saying. Who
Mm,
better to help Cody Rhodes on WrestleMania, or screw Cody Rhodes on Sunday on WrestleMania?
they are BFFs. They are BFFs.
Anyways, John Tenta. Yes. No, I watched it and it was just like it was literally the story of like you would watch a story about this great man, and all of a sudden it's just like it just got sadder and sadder. And nothing was like dark about it. It
No.
wasn't really dark side of the ring. It was more of just sad, depressing side of the ring.
Yeah.
Like,
It totally was like, "Oh, no. Why?"
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it starts out, and he starts wrestling. He goes to Japan. He comes to WWE. He meets his wife, and oh my god, his wife, the most adorable person I
Mm,
have ever seen. She starts
yeah.
singing what's that song, My Endless Love, but like with
Mhm,
she
mhm.
puts John's name in there, and I just thought
Yeah.
that was so cute because that reminded me of Happy Gilmore. you know
Yeah, totally. The ice rink scene, yeah.
Yeah, and, it warmed my heart because she seemed so sweet, and
Mhm.
they she seemed like she genuinely just still loves that man more than anything, and it went through his entire career, like I said, from Japan, WWE, WCW, doing the shark gimmick, which apparently he hated, um,
Mhm.
you know,
That was
then
pretty stupid.
I never I think I was done watching at that time. Like I was already
Yeah.
like, yeah, this stuff kind of sucks. I'm going WWE, WWF, man.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got a guy drinking beer and a guy doing something with his eyebrow. I don't know. I could barely do it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah,
Oh,
man,
and the
watching
whole the whole Master Blaster thing, man.
What was that?
Remember when they put Typhoon in a stormtrooper mask in WCW? They put a
Oh,
whole bunch of glitter on it.
Shockmaster.
Shockmaster, yeah, Master Blaster. That's a
Shockmaster.
transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Haku's
revealing that
reaction
like,
to that's just gold.
oh, it's great because Haku has never seen this before in his life, and genuinely cannot stop laughing at this. He's just like, and it even goes to break. They have him laughing still, and you hear the camera people behind the scenes just laughing with him because this is so hysterical, you know. And you know, that whole Shockmaster thing was just, it was doomed from the get-go, man. You know, Fred Ottman, I guess, is doing the voice. They didn't gimmick the wall up at all. They just wanted Fred Ottman to push right through it. You know,
Dude,
and
not even scoring it, anything. It just go through the wall. What?
Yeah. Later, then it talks about, you know, Tenta's days in the oddities, and you know, briefly goes over that, and you know, didn't really talk much about it, but just kind of was like, yeah, he wasn't a fan of that, but he did what he had to do to support his family. And then it just got sadder. He got, like, I believe, was it cancer he got? And
yeah, it was a sneaky one. He was, you know, like a lot of males our age, we have this pride thing that messes with us. I'll get over this pain. I'll be fine. I don't need to go to the doctor. And, you know, we don't go to the doctor until it's too late. So, gentlemen, get your asses to the doctor sooner than later.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is hard to tell sometimes because you're like, wait, is this something that's gonna like go away tomorrow? You know, but yeah, it's really sad because then it's like he takes a job in retail, he gets cancer, and then he just kind of dies and just.
Well, no, he was driving trucks and stuff, so he was always like holding his pee in and stuff.
Yeah, man, that's gonna get you, and you know,
I think it was bladder cancer, right?
Or was it bladder? Was it prostate? I don't know.
Something like that.
But yeah, his kids were on the show. They incredibly three kids, incredibly sweet kids.
Even took in his wife's kid and made it treat him as his own. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So that first kid, that was his wife's kid, right? Okay. So yeah, I did love
that he ever knew.
I love there's a video where it cuts to them on Christmas and he holds up a picture of like a Nintendo 64 copy of like Zelda, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I remember that Christmas. I got GoldenEye, but I wasn't a Zelda fan.
Yeah.
But well, I think you know, John Tenta will live in our memories forever. He's one of those guys that I watched as a kid, and I was like, "Ooh, I hate that earthquake." He's messing with the Hulkster, and I love the Hulkster because I was a Hulkamaniac. But when you grow up and you look back, you're like, that guy was such a fucking beast of a man, you know?
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, and if for those of you watching, big fans of CWR, you can go back to our Heat reviews where the oddities were a mainstay for those reviews that we were doing for a while. Or we talk about Tenta a lot.
Or SummerSlam 91. We've talked about that too.
Very popular amongst our feed, yes.
So John Tenta, you know what? I'm just gonna start it right here. John Tenta is the first induction, the City Wrestling Radio Hall of Fame. He's in.
I second that. Yes.
The first one in. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here today. Like I did say, we do have some stuff coming up, some extra stuff coming up. We are going to do a retro show going into WrestleMania. So keep an eye out for that. Some Retro Mania review coming your way. We're going to review both nights of Mania this year. And yeah, we'll see you
on demand.
On demand on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends know that wrestling is cool again, and you like listening to these guys talk about it. So
there you go.
We're gonna get out of here. For City Wrestling Radio, I am Corey Smith.
I am Jose Osagada.
And we will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.